Hi everyone, I'm Lulu. I'm going to be your host today, and welcome to Lulu's Mishaps, where we release a new episode every Thursday. So, to get us started, today is titled our pilot episode. And if you're not aware of what a pilot is, to my understanding, it's like when you're trying to release a new show and it's like that very first episode, like, okay, we're going to test the waters to see if it even hits. And I decided to name this episode the pilot just because I thought it was fitting. I'm trying to get my equipment together. Trying to figure out the best angles, how to record, when to record. I was very ambitious and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at 6 in the morning, get ready, and it's gonna be the first thing I do in the morning. But then I quickly realized I was very nonverbal this morning, so we're kind of winging it. It's 11:40 a.m., so it's not even the morning, but I will tell you I barely just started with my day. It's a Sunday. I'm going to start a new job tomorrow, so I'm trying to take it slow. I feel like it's my last Sunday where I can take it quote unquote slow. So, the style of this podcast is supposed to be very casual, not something too fancy. I don't want to dress up and give you here a lecture and give you about life. I really a lot of stuff that's happened in my life. I call my grandma or I vlog it on my private story. I share it and it's very informal, very mishap-ish. And that's kind of how the name came up. Is I was talking to my grandma and she was telling me, "Wow, you have so many things going on. It's basically you're like a mishap. You can write a book about it." And right now I'm not at the space where I want to create a book. I think I'm still trying to figure out my free time and what that's going to look like. And I'm like, well, what better way to share this by making a vlog, or making a podcast. And so that's what I'm trying to do today, is making my own podcast about my little mishaps in life. And I might not have everything planned out, but who in their 20s does, you know? So moving on, you can call me Lulu. It's a name that has kind of been in my family for a very long time. People used to call me Lady Lou because my name was a little bit harder for people to, I guess, say. And so that's how Lulu came about. Well, Lady Lou. And then Lulu came about as a shortened version of Lady Lou. And we had this little dance and little song about it. And so anyways, as I grew older, Lulu kind of fell off, but it's something I feel really fits the vibe of it. I don't want it to be my government name out there and it just being all I feel like it's kind of when you say my government name, you're kind of yelling at me, and I don't want it to give that vibe. I'm 22. I have my little notebook right here about my notes I wanted to talk about. I just graduated college, graduated from Michigan State with my bachelor's in science and environmental studies and sustainability. Very, very long title. Waiting on my diploma right now, but I am super excited to just, I don't know, be done with school. I was very heavily involved and I just always had something going on, and so I'm finally glad that I get to reclaim my life. But I think something that really struck me as soon as I graduated was wow, as many of us have, we have only, or at least the majority, we have only we it's a direct pipeline, and we've been going to school for the past 18 years of our lives, or if you did preschool, probably even more than 18. And so I was really thinking to myself, I don't know who I am without being a student. I've always loved learning and I loved going to school, and even if it did get hard, and I was really ready to graduate and I really wanted to be done, but I still didn't know what that looked like outside of it. So that's just kind of a reason why I wanted to start this, because I just wanted to see what is that process like, and why not vlog it? If it's going to be messy, so be it. So I was born in Michigan, but I've been back and forth from Mexico to Michigan for pretty much the majority of my youth, I guess I would say. I haven't really been back living in Mexico since my sophomore year of high school, and that's because I knew I wanted to come here. I wanted to have uh, a college degree from the US, and so I just figured it would be easier if I did all of that just by living here my junior year, taking the SATs, trying to get scholarships, figuring out what school I wanted to go to by my senior year. And so I've just been here ever since my junior year straight. I do go back to Mexico and I visit my mom and my family down there, but I haven't lived there in a very long time. Okay. So going back to why podcasting, Like I said, I really loved vlogging back in high school. I would do like this thing called daily vlogs. And so I would vlog myself and I would share it mainly on Snapchat. That's like when Snapchat was very, very heavy. And I don't know if that's like a high school thing or if it's literally like that was like the platform of our time back in 2018. Jesus. Um but yeah, basically I would do all these Snapchat videos, and I would be like, daily vlog, guys, on today's episode, and I would just kind of vlog. I would just rant, like it wasn't anything structured, and I'd post it on my main, I'd post it on my private. I really didn't care what people had to say, but people that like liked me were entertained by it, and they would comment on it, and that's like exactly what I want to do here. Like I'm not doing this for money or for clout or like if I have 12 followers to entertain, I will entertain those 12 followers for sure. So then my freshman year of college came around and I dropped that whole I actually really did do those daily vlogs for I think pretty much the entirety of my high school time, high school years. I don't know what to say. But college my freshman year, I started doing average woman in STEM videos on TikTok. I think a lot of them are down. I don't know if I like archive them and then I put them back in and then I archive them. You know, always trying to reinvent yourself, reinvent the wheel. But point is, they were out there and they were doing okay. I mean, I never really had like a successful following, but I loved doing it back in the day, freshman year. I was studying engineering, so a lot of it was like kind of introducing and showing people what my life was as a first gen Mexican going to college and just like trying to share that journey with people. And I think that's exactly what I'm doing again today. And I keep on like reiterating that is that I really am just trying to share what that looks like because I don't know. I just think it's fun. Like it's okay to not have everything together. I feel like I've had a lot of people ask me, "What are you going to do after this? What are your goals long term?" And like I don't really have an answer anymore because my goal long term was to graduate college and now it's like now what? Now I have to find a new goal. And it really did leave me empty for a moment there, but we're going to get to it. Sorry, I feel like I talk too much to where the point. Oh, talk too much to where the point where I can't even sip on my coffee. So that's why I'm like trying to take intermission breaks. Okay, so again about about the podcast. It's called Mishaps because life is a bumpy road, and you're going to have a lot of mishaps in life. And I want to share the raw, the ugly, everything in life. It hasn't been a straight road. I haven't been just cruising through life. I've been out of college for like a month and a half. Yes, 2 months. 2 months now. And I will say that I've only shared on social media like me traveling, me having fun, me at the beach, me with my friends. But I don't share those moments where I wake up and I'm like, I have no structure to my life. I'm very type A. I love to have a list. And when I wake up and I don't have a list and I really don't have anything, I just kind of feel like I wasted my day. And so it's that back and forth of like, am I wasting my day? Yeah, probably. If this were my last day on earth, I maybe wouldn't be content. And the other half of me being like, well, when I start working, I'm going to wish I had time to myself. Why not enjoy it and start painting and start running and start doing X, Y, and Z stuff that I didn't really have time before when I was in college and I had a packed schedule. Um, yes. And so a lot of it too, I think that I'm afraid of being comfortable with just where I'm at in life in a way. Like, I understand, like, I'm constantly changing and we're constantly evolving and that I'm really at a turning period in my life, but I think I'm scared of just staying in my bubble and staying at home and just really keeping to myself. Like, I really want to move on to that next chapter in my life and make new friends and, I don't know, just explore and not be scared to leaving. And I kind of feel like this podcast will help me break out of my cocoon, if I should say. And again, I feel like this podcast kind of found me. I actually got my microphone My dad found it in an abandoned house. He does maintenance for work, and he literally like found it and was like, do you want this podcast equipment? I'm like, oh my god, no way. Yes, I do. And so I literally had this whole like mini setup just kind of fall into my laps. And I had tried to do podcasting before. I did a YouTube video with my like mic and stuff not so long ago, right after I got from back from my study abroad. So I kind of just have always like attempted, like it's not something like I just kind of gave up, but I definitely have had this idea of like, okay, when I graduate, like I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. So now that I'm finally here, I'm like, okay, like you have to get to it. Like even this morning, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like is this really what I want? But to be honest, I kind of do. Like I think it'll be fun. And so I think that I don't know, holding me accountable, and it found me for sure. I also got a new camera and I didn't know how to hook it up to my microphone. So just know, like all you need really is like a little mic and your phone. I'm recording on my phone right now. I think the quality is pretty fun. Like it's okay. At the end of the day, a podcast isn't for the video; it's for the audio. So yeah, I think if you're into it, just do it. So, to be honest, this was just a little bit about me. I don't think I have much more to say. If I could give probably a little bit of maybe stuff that I like. I have been enjoying running. I work out. I finally got into the groove. I went back to my childhood gym, which was actually kind of funny, but I'll talk about that more on the next episode. We're going to be talking about immediately after college, how does it feel? Because I'm telling you, I have a lot of emotions in the past 2 months. I've actually done a lot of traveling in the past 2 months. So I really wanted to share that, but I think that's a whole separate episode. Kind of wanted to keep these nice, short, and sweet. But with that being said, so this concludes our episode for today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any feedback, please let me know. I hope to see you next Thursday.